Is that yeah? Pretty much that's why I didn't stream yesterday. I was actually planning to go even crazier, but mates couldn't follow. Like we had plans to we had plans to do mushroom actually, but they had to work today and travel and shit, and they said no. We had fun. It was great. We had fun. We had a lot of fun. But yeah, it's great to go wild every now and then. Um, my twenties, my twenties, they were quite destructive. I, yeah, they were quite destructive. I'll just put it like that. And on now, I'm trying to do better. You know what I mean? And I have been doing a lot better. But it's just. I think it's actually healthy to go wild, have some mushrooms and stuff. Just break the walls of reality and then come back. Like get your brain, make scrambled eggs out of it, and then just put it back in your head. It works. Trust me, it works. Uh, Being a little personal because there's only two people watching. I haven't barely started. Honestly, I see you guys as friends at this point. But on the last three occasions that I had LSD or something similar to it, that gives a trip. Yeah, just you and Stelizal, OG. But the last three experiences I had with LSD or mushrooms, those that are kind of similar in a way, I actually like spend 2 to 3 hours crying, but crying like imagine like crying that you can't really, that crying like that. Like I don't really cry on in real life, like I mean when you're sober and living your days, even if people is rude at me at work and stuff like that. But to be honest, Mr. Fix, I the full experience was like, I'm gonna tell you the first one, which is the one that I remember the most. I was in this music festival, right? And I just had dropped this LSD thing, and I was with my friends, we were dancing and stuff, and I started feeling that thing coming up, and I was trying to hold it down, but that feeling, I couldn't, like I didn't want to cry at the moment. Nothing happened. Like it was just, we were just dancing, man. But it came up, it was coming up, coming up, coming up. And eventually I actually moved away from my friends because I didn't want to call their attention or to be like, oh man, are you okay? I tried to avoid that. So I moved away from them and I went to this little hill thing. Bro, I started crying like a baby. Seriously. Like, I didn't really know why. For real, man, I'm not joking. If I knew, I would tell. I actually learned what it was about on the second time it happened. Because the way I see this, because let me finish the first story first. So I was crying and crying, man. And I was like trying to hide it a little bit and trying to understand why. But I couldn't really stop, man. I was just crying and crying, out of drops falling, like for real, I was crying, crying. But eventually it stopped. At some point I was actually enjoying it and I wanted just to let it go. And I was just allowing it to happen. And at the end of it, I actually wanted to keep on crying, but I couldn't. There was just nothing else to cry about. I just had almost like I had satisfied that feeling. I don't know. And then I kept on dancing. I just went back dancing. But it was great, I felt so relieved, man. I felt so light. And on the second time, I felt like I cried and I was really, really focused into understanding why that phenomenon was happening again. And I think that the feeling that I tried to pay attention, that it was on me and why it was happening, I think it was all the pressure of living abroad, and being away from family and trying to learn a new skill, this thing that I'm working with. Like back in Brazil, I was psychologist, bro. And here I'm a chef. Yo, Mr. Hasher Syrup, how are you, my bro? You're pretty as well, man. I can see on my webcam, it's 2 ways webcam. It's a Logitech 2 ways HD 1080p. It's 2 ways, and I can see you. You're handsome as well, my bro.